The year is 1582. 1,000 samurai stand in formation on the plains of Honshu. Steel gleams in the morning sun. Armor clicks as warriors shift their weight. Katanas rest against shoulders. Yumi bows hang ready. Then a sound. Low at first, a rhythmic thumping that doesn't belong in this world. The samurai look up. Their eyes widen. Descending from the clouds is something impossible. Something that moves like a dragonfly but roars like thunder. An AH-64 Apache attack helicopter. This is not a battle. This is a collision between eras separated by 4 centuries of warfare evolution. One represents the peak of feudal combat discipline. The other embodies modern military dominance. What happens when these two forces meet? The answer reveals something profound about the nature of technological warfare. The Apache helicopter is not just an aircraft. It's a weapons system designed to eliminate threats before they know they're being hunted. It weighs 10 tons. 2 turboshaft engines generate 3,400 horsepower combined. Maximum speed, 182 miles per hour. Operational range, 300 miles. Service ceiling, 21,000 feet. But speed means nothing without lethality. The Apache carries a 30mm M230 chain gun mounted under the nose. Rate of fire, 625 rounds per minute. Each round is designed to penetrate armored vehicles. Effective range over 1,500 meters. That's nearly a mile of precision death. Mounted on the stub wings are 16 Hydra 70 rockets. Each rocket can be equipped with various warheads, high explosive. Flechette, white phosphorus. They launch in salvos. The sound alone can break enemy morale before impact. Then there are the Hellfire missiles, a GM-114S, originally designed to destroy Soviet tanks. Laser-guided fire-and-forget capability. Range, 5 miles. A single Hellfire can obliterate a reinforced position. The Apache can carry up to 16. The crew sits in tandem, pilot in back, co-pilot gunner in front. Both wear integrated helmet display systems. When the gunner looks at a target, the chain gun follows. Their eyes become weapons. Thermal imaging, night vision, laser rangefinders. The Apache sees through darkness, smoke, and weather. It tracks multiple targets simultaneously. It processes battlefield data faster than any human commander in history. This machine was built to survive the European theater against Warsaw Pact forces. It was designed to face surface-to-air missiles, radar-guided anti-aircraft guns, and sophisticated electronic warfare. 1,000 men with swords were never part of the equation. The samurai were not simple soldiers. They were products of centuries of martial refinement. Bushido, the way of the warrior, it defined their existence. Training began in childhood. Swordsmanship, archery, hand-to-hand combat, horseback riding, strategic thinking. Every skill honed through repetition until it became instinct. The katana is not just a sword, it's folded steel. Edge geometry perfected over generations. In the hands of a master, it can cut through bone with a single stroke. The samurai didn't just carry these weapons, they lived with them, slept with them, understood their balance like an extension of their own arm. Their armor was equally sophisticated, lacquered plates bound by silk cord, designed to deflect arrows and sword strikes while allowing mobility. Each suit was custom fitted. Each piece served a purpose. Helmet designs intimidated enemies. Face masks protected while projecting terror. Tactics were equally advanced for their time. The samurai understood formation warfare, flanking maneuvers, feigned retreats, coordinated volleys from archers. They adapted to terrain. They used psychological warfare, war cries, ritual challenges. Displays of individual prowess meant to break enemy resolve. But their greatest weapon was discipline. 1,000 samurai in formation represented unified purpose. They didn't panic. They didn't break ranks. They advanced or retreated as one organism. European observers who witnessed samurai armies described them as terrifying in their coordination. In their world, they were apex predators, but this is not their world anymore. The helicopter hovers at 8,000 feet, 2 miles away. The samurai are visible on thermal imaging as heat signatures clustered in formation. The crew doesn't see individual warriors, they see target clusters. Threat assessment, minimal. Authorization to engage, granted. The Apache begins its approach. At 1 mile distance, the samurai notice the sound growing louder. Some point. Others ready their bows. The archers draw. Maximum effective range of a Yumi bow, 50 to 100 meters. The helicopter is still 1,600 meters away. The chain gun opens fire. 30mm rounds travel at 2,600 feet per second. At this distance, they arrive before their sound does. The first samurai don't hear what kills them. Explosive rounds detonate on impact. Bodies don't just fall, they come apart. Armor designed for arrows and swords offers no resistance. The formation tries to scatter, but there is nowhere to scatter to. The Apache's targeting system tracks movement. The chain gun sweeps across the field like a scythe through grass. 10 seconds, 50 dead. The samurai with horses attempt to charge. It's instinct. Close the distance. Engage in combat where their skills matter. They ride at full gallop. The fastest horse reaches 40 miles per hour. The Apache is flying at 120. 20 seconds. 100 dead. Some archers lose arrows. A few reach altitude, they fall short. Those that reach the helicopter bounce off the armored fuselage like raindrops. The Apache is rated to withstand 23mm cannon fire. An arrow generates roughly 70 joules of energy. A 23mm round generates 40,000. The rocket pods engage. 16 Hydra rockets launch in under 4 seconds. Each one finds a cluster of warriors. High explosive warheads detonate on ground impact. Shrapnel tears through organic targets within a 10-meter radius. 30 seconds. 250 dead. The samurai begin to break. Not from cowardice. From rational recognition that there is no strategy against this. No formation. No terrain advantage. No tactical retreat that matters. They are fighting something that exists outside their understanding of combat. Some run toward the helicopter. Others run away. Both groups die the same way. 45 seconds. 400 dead. The Hellfire missiles haven't been used yet. They're unnecessary. The chain gun and rockets are sufficient. The crew methodically works through target sectors. Professional. Efficient. There is no anger, no bloodlust. This is pest control from their perspective. 60 seconds, 600 dead. The remaining warriors drop their weapons. Some kneel. Others raise their hands. Surrender postures. The Apache doesn't recognize them. It only recognizes threats and non-threats. Movement equals threat. The targeting computer makes no distinction between attack and retreat. 90 seconds, 800 dead. The few who remain alive are not survivors, they are simply last. Some hide beneath the bodies of their brothers. Others lie wounded, unable to move. The helicopter completes its gun run and banks for a second pass. 2 minutes, 973 dead. The Apache hovers over the field. The thermal imaging scans for heat signatures, a few remain. Wounded, dying. The crew debates whether to expend additional ammunition. They decide against it. Mission complete. The helicopter turns and accelerates toward the horizon. Total ammunition expended, less than 10% of payload capacity. The battlefield is silent except for wind. What took samurai years to master died in under 3 minutes. 1,000 men. Each one trained since childhood. Each one representing decades of martial tradition. Erased by a machine operated by 2 people. This is not about courage. The samurai had courage. This is not about skill. They had skill. This is not even about weapons. Their weapons were exceptional for their time. This is about the fundamental transformation of warfare. The samurai fought in a world where combat was personal. You saw your enemy's face. You measured their skill. Your survival depended on training, reflexes, and will. Death came from an arm's length away or a bow shot at most. The Apache exists in a world where combat is mathematical. Targeting solutions, engagement ranges, ammunition efficiency. The enemy is data on a screen. Death is delivered from beyond visual range by someone who will never know your name. This gap cannot be closed by courage or discipline or tradition. It can only be closed by technology. And when technology advances faster than culture can adapt, the result is not just defeat, it's obsolescence. History is filled with these moments. The English longbow against French knights, gunpowder against castle walls, machine guns against cavalry charges, atomic weapons against conventional armies. Each time, one side possessed an advantage so overwhelming that the battle became a formality. But here's what makes this scenario particularly striking. Both the samurai and the Apache represent peaks. The samurai were the most refined version of pre-gunpowder warriors. The Apache is among the most advanced attack helicopters ever built. This isn't primitive versus modern. This is excellence versus evolution. 1,000 samurai. Centuries of martial tradition. The discipline of Bushido. The sharpest steel ever forged. It all meant nothing against rotary blades and guided munitions. But before we close this chapter, consider another question. What if those samurai had faced something even further beyond their comprehension? What if the Apache itself encountered something that rendered all its sophistication as useless as a katana against thermal imaging? What if 10,000 Roman legionaries faced a single modern tank? The evolution of warfare never stops. And somewhere, in some future we can't yet imagine, today's most advanced weapons will look as primitive as swords on an open field. That's a story for another time.